House Bill 2506 is bad legislation because it violates basic private property rights that are guaranteed under our Constitution. It encourages government to exercise eminent domain, seize your private property without compensation, adequate notice, due process of law, and a legal title to the property. There really is a better private sector solution versus a government solution. Hello, my name is John Todd. I spent my career as a private sector real estate entrepreneur. I specialize in redeveloping neighborhoods where I witnessed firsthand job creation, expanding the tax base that provides revenue, local revenue for fire, police, schools to educate our children, and generally overall economic uplift for the neighborhood. Whether it's the hand of government seizing property without compensation, or an agent, a nonprofit that they've picked, seizing property, the outcome is no different. These are houses that the city actually bulldozed, and they paid the owners of the properties no compensation whatsoever. It's interesting that in 2015, 70% of the properties bulldozed in the city of Wichita were in the zip code of 67214, which is part of this map. It disproportionately impacts low-income and minority neighborhoods. This house was vacant, and as you can see, it needed painting. There were obvious code violations. This house would have been a target for City of Wichita bulldozing. However, it sold at a tax foreclosure sale for $5,500. A young couple purchased it. They did rehabilitation, and you can see the work that they've completed on the house. Provides low-cost, entry-level houses. It saved the tax base and provided tremendous neighborhood uplift. Can you imagine what might have happened on those vacant lots that you saw earlier if those houses had been saved like this young couple, and the neighborhood would had a third or half of those vacant lots would had houses like this? This is what economic development's all about. This property went to the Building Code Standards and Appeals. They voted to condemn this property. The major problem had nothing to do with blight. It had to do with a structural defect that, as it turns out, proved to be repairable at a reasonable cost to make the property for sale at a viable cost. A private sector investor found the owner of the property. He had made the offer to purchase the property and was able to save the property from bulldozing. The wall that he repaired cost less than $10,000. He was able to purchase the property for less than $15,000, and the house to the north and south of this property are currently on the Sudbury County tax rolls in the $100,000 to $110,000 range. So instead of having a vacant, ugly, weed-infested lot that has a blighting influence on this nice neighborhood, this private sector investor salvaged this house for the tax base. What a nice addition for the neighborhood. Now, this is a prime example of an entry-level house that helps a young couple build equity. House Bill 2506 is bad legislation. The legislation gives local authorities unmitigated power in determining which properties should be seized, allowing localities to write their own rules. It also seized to municipalities the power to select which private, nonprofit organizations receive control of the property. Fundamentally, this bill is an assault to the basic American principles of individual liberty and private property rights. It also established an all-too-cozy system between municipalities and private nonprofit organizations that is rife with the potential for cronyism and government abuse. Proof that the blight label has been falsely applied can be found in many instances of houses that have been saved from demolition, restored, and returned to habitable, tax-producing homes. One man's trash is indeed another man's treasure. The better alternative is to allow investors, first-time homeowners, and others to cooperate in the free market, paying a fair market price for distressed houses that they further invest in, make habitable and attractive to buyers. These homes return to the tax rolls, provide opportunity for low-cost housing without government action and taxpayer subsidy, encourage uplift in the neighborhood in a self-sustaining system.